2 for 2 with a walk today for Tris Speaker. He singles and gets on. So, that's what we're looking at right now. He leads off the 6th. Gehrig is up with nobody out. And he swings, and that's ball 2. Checked his swing in time. And now he's got a shot to first. McCovey gloves it. Throws to Wagner, covering second, but that's all. It'll just be a one-out situation for the National League. They'll settle for 1 out. Reggie Jackson's up. He's 1 for 2 today with a double. 1 out. And Lou Gehrig is on first base. Getting a little bit late for the National League. Strikes out looking. Reggie Jackson takes a called third strike. And with Gehrig still on first base, it's Yogi Berra, the catcher, for the American League today. He hits a grounder to third. That's Matthews. Matthews throws across the diamond to McCovey. And we're through 6. The National League is still leading by a score of 5-0. Tom Seaver, Joe Morgan, Honus Wagner in the top of the 7th. Seaver swings and misses at a Cy Young offering. That's 1 down. Joe Morgan. Morgan is now 3 for 4. He just singled to right, and he's aboard. He's working on that lead. He's going. He is going. The throw from Berra is not in time. Morgan steals second. Honus Wagner with a chance to drive in a run. With 1 out, Morgan's on second. National League in front 6-0. 5-0. They're in front 5-0. The pitch to Wagner is a ground ball towards third. That's going to be Wade Boggs, who checks Morgan at second and throws across to first for the out. And Eddie Matthews. The pitch to Eddie is a line shot, but Gehrig is there to snag it for the 3rd out of the inning. Wow, Cy Young barely gets out of that mess. And we're through 7. Through 6.5. Sorry, we're through 6.5. The National League is still in front 5-0. Cal Ripken Jr. will lead off against the still very strong Tom Seaver, pitching for the National League. The pitch to Ripken, fly ball left field. That's Stargell, and that's 1 down. Gehringer batting in the 7th. The pitch to Charlie is a shot to first, and that's Stretch McCovey, who's going to step on the base, and that's 2 down. And the National League still dominating the American League. Ted Williams is going to bat for Cy Young, and Williams will step in against Seaver with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Teddy Ballgame is a fly ball to left. Seaver dominant today. And that's going to settle in Stargell's glove, and that's 3 outs. Troy Percival will be the new American League pitcher. Percival will pitch the 8th inning. He'll face McCovey, Ken Griffey Jr., and Willie Stargell. The pitch to McCovey. strikes out. 1 down. Ken Griffey Jr. He takes a ball. Junior hits a fly ball to right. Right field, that's Reggie. And that's 2 down. And Willie Stargell, with 2 outs in the 8th against Troy Percival. Stargell singles sharply to right. He's aboard, and we may see a pinch runner. We will see a pinch runner. It's going to be Roberto Clemente running for Stargell. And Andre Dawson is up to bat against Troy Percival with 2 outs. Clemente on first. Dawson swings, and he misses for strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Dawson. He's 0 for 4 on the day, and that's going to do it. Defensively, because Clemente ran for Stargell, he's coming in to play right field. Dawson moves to center field, and Ken Griffey Jr. moves to left field in the bottom of the 8th. Tom Seaver is still on, 6 outs away from giving the National League a 3-0 victory, or a 3-0 lead in this World Series. The pitch to Boggs is a curveball, and Boggs doesn't come within 3 feet of it. That's a strikeout. There's 1 down in the 8th. Seaver's 5 outs away. Cobb. Ty Cobb hits a fly ball to center, and that's going to land in Dawson's glove for 2 down. And Tris Speaker is 2 for 2 with a double and a walk. And we have a range check for the National League. That gets through. Speaker singles. He's 3 for 3 and keeps the 8th inning alive. That's going to get action going in the bullpen for the National League. Let's see. They've got some usage issues. Christy Matheson is going to warm up along with Lee Smith in the bullpen for the National League. Neither one pitched yesterday in Game 3. Lou Gehrig with 2 outs. Tris Speaker's on first base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th for Gehrig, who swings and taps to Morgan. Morgan's up with it and flips to first. That's going to do it for the American League in the 8th. Tom Seaver's allowed 5 hits. He's walked 2 men, 1 intentionally, and he has struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batters. No runs allowed for Seaver today. He has been masterful. We go to the 9th, and we have a new pitcher for the American League. The new pitcher for the American League is Dan Quisenberry. Quisenberry will face Campanella, Seaver, and Morgan here in the 9th. Campanella singled in the 5th and scored a run. He's 1 for 3. The pitch to Campy. He strikes out against Quisenberry. 1 down. Seaver looking to complete this one for the National League. The pitch to Seaver is a fly ball to center. That's Tris Speaker for 2 outs. And Joe Morgan with 2 outs in the ninth. 3 for 4, a 2-run homer, and a stolen base to his credit today. Morgan slaps one to Gehrig, who's going to flip it to Quisenberry, and that retires the side in the ninth. So the bullpen for the American League is doing a great job, but Palmer was touched for all 5 runs so far. It's 5-0, National League. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Reggie Jackson, Yogi Berra, and Cal Ripken Jr. due. Now Reggie is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout so far today. The pitch to Reggie. He strikes out. 1 down in the ninth inning. Smith and Matheson are still throwing in the bullpen. Yogi Berra is 1 for 3 for the American League, a single in the fourth. The pitch to Berra is a shot down the line. This one's not over yet. A double for Yogi. Clemente gets it out of the corner, but not before Yogi waddles to second base. And there's 1 out and 1 on. Mickey Mantle is going to bat, and that's for Ripken. Cal Ripken Jr. Mantle's batting for him. Mantle has not distinguished himself with the stick as of yet. That's going to do it for Seaver. And we're going to see Lee Smith. Lee Smith, with 1 out, is on in the bottom of the ninth to try and close this thing out. The pitch to Mickey. Lee Smith facing Mickey Mantle. The pitch. He struck him out. 2 down. And that brings up Babe Ruth hitting for Charlie Gehringer. Ruth, 2 down. A man on second. Smith, this is not a save situation, but Smith trying to close it for the National League. Berra standing with his hands on his hips. Ruth draws a walk. Babe Ruth is on first. Now we need a pinch hitter for Quisenberry. There's 2 on. There's 2 outs. And it's going to be Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski, batting in the bottom of the ninth for Dan Quisenberry. There's 2 outs. There's 2 on. The American League is down 5-0. Yastrzemski trying to keep it going. Wade Boggs is on deck. Cobb will follow him if they reach. Fly ball to center. Dawson running in the gap, and he makes a fine running catch. And that ends this one with a score of 5-0 in favor of the National League. A 5-0 win in Game 4 of the Legends World Series. The winning pitcher is Tom Seaver, who went 8 1/3 very, very strong shutout innings. He allowed 6 hits, no runs, no earned runs. He walked 2 men, 1 was intentional, and he struck out 6 men. Lee Smith finished the last 2/3. He walked 1 man. He struck out 1 man. He did not earn a save. It was not a save situation. For the American League, Jim Palmer was the starting pitcher. He went 5 innings, did not fare well. Palmer allowed 7 hits, 5 runs. All were earned. He walked none. He struck out 2. And he allowed 2 very, very costly home runs. Cy Young went 2 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, struck out 2, and did not walk anyone. Troy Percival pitched the 8th. He allowed 1 hit. He struck out 2 and allowed no runs. And Dan Quisenberry pitched the 9th. He struck out 1 and allowed no runs, no hits, and no runs. The line score for the National League, they scored 5 runs on 9 hits, and they had no errors. The American League had no runs on 6 hits, and they committed 1 error. The winning pitcher once more is Tom Seaver. He is 1-0 in the Legends World Series. The losing pitcher, Jim Palmer, he falls to 0-1. The National League now leads the series 3-1. The hitting stars of this one were Eddie Matthews with a 3-run homer, which turned out to be all the runs the National League needed in the 3rd inning. Joe Morgan added a 2-run homer of his own in the 5th to finish the scoring for the National League. Tomorrow, the American League faces a tough task. Bob Gibson will take the mound for the National League. The American League has not yet announced their starter. They could come back with Lefty Grove, their starter in Game 1, or they could look to different starters like Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, or Eddie Plank. So they have a decision to make about how to try to get back in this series. They're down 3-1. It is a best-of-9 series, and so another victory puts them down, by the National League, puts them down 4-1 in a 9-game series, which is not a position that you want to be in. We will also, tomorrow before the game, talk about usage limits and where we are with that, and which players are being used extensively and which ones are not. Remember, position players can only start 5 games in the series, and only 2 starting pitchers can start twice in the series as well. That's it for today. If you like what you see, please hit like and subscribe my channel. My name is Kurt Berglund. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you at tomorrow's game.